another marketing question. I'm in an extremely competitive market, and it appears that most of my business comes from word of mouth and not from any specific form of advertisement. What next? In other words, how do I grow this market? The first thing, and again, I want to make sure that I don't assume that that everything's in place here. So number one thing that you want to have is your obituary, or sorry, your website with your obits and condolences. And you want to have an obit traffic program. And the reason why I put this here is that it's almost more of a reminder to me. So I've set up this little thing. If you send me an email to robin@FuneralFuturist.com, so you should, the reason why you're on this call today is that you got an email from me, so you got my email. And if you put obit traffic in the subject line, and then you could just whatever you want in the body, like, hey Hep, great teleseminar, which would be kind of cool. It will automatically send you a link back with these 3 steps of how to really promote your obituary traffic. So one is sending an email to the family immediately after you put your obit on the website. The next one is to send an email to all the groups that the deceased belonged to, whether it was the church, Rotary, Lodge, lawn bowling, knitting, whatever clubs they were belonged to, and there's a little template, a little script in there that you can send it to, or that you can use. And then also the third one of how to explain to the family how to add the online obituary from your website on their Facebook profile. That if you use that alone, you're going to generate so much traffic to your website. That's the first thing. You're going to build this huge foundation, this huge platform, what I like to call your virtual marketing platform. And that's going to be the base. So if you really want to kind of build this up, and everyone should apply that. Then moving on from there, Google AdWords, because you can specifically target people that are looking for a funeral home. And then, stepping it from that point, using a community outreach education series, and whether it's every other month or maybe quarterly or maybe monthly, and just go and pick a dozen or a couple dozen places that you want to target over the course of the year and approach them and just say, hey, we want to do this. And again, not focusing on the benefits of pre-planning, but some things that are somewhat death related, but or funeral related or end of life issues related, but also it has a twist to their group. So one thing in our area here, there's Emily Carr. Emily Carr is a famous artist, and she's buried in kind of the old city cemetery here. And you could put together something that would have her just about her and her artwork, but then kind of tie in her about her funeral. If it was something that was kind of worthwhile sharing. If you're not going to do this for what's her name, Jessica Mitford, but if that, you can kind of tie that in. Same with the Cicely Saunders, the founder of hospice. See, because those things are important to those people. If you talk about your funeral home to the hospice people, they're going to think you're totally promotional. If you're going to talk about Cicely Saunders, who they worship, that's going to be awesome. And then, then the next thing that I would have is just have a social media plan, but just keep it simple. You want it solid, but just keep it. Don't overcomplicate it. And you can really get away with maybe an hour or two worth of planning per year, an hour a week looking for information, and then 15 to 20 minutes a day. And if you were to follow that and just be really strict with it, you're going to have more of an impact on social media than going through a lot of other things and getting way too committed and way too involved. So just, you want to keep it simple, but I'm not saying don't be there, because so many people are there. You need to be there. But the reason why you're there is to be seen as the expert.